The final chapter of the book of Hosea offers a beautiful message of hope. After many warnings and struggles, God gives his people a simple invitation: return to the Lord. This invitation is not only for ancient Israel, it is for us today. Every human heart sometimes drifts away from God through distractions, mistakes, pride, or busyness. Yet God does not close the door. Instead, he patiently calls us back. No matter how far you feel from God, there's always a path back. Hosea encourages the people to return with sincere words. Instead of empty rituals or sacrifices, God wants honesty. He invites them to confess their mistakes and ask for mercy. This teaches us something powerful about prayer. God values sincerity more than perfection. In daily life, we often hide our struggles, even from God. But real prayer begins when we speak honestly. Admitting when we feel weak, acknowledging when we make mistakes, asking for guidance when we feel lost. God already knows our hearts. Honest prayer opens the door to healing. The people in Hosea's time trusted in political alliances and idols instead of God. They believed these things would give them security. Today, we may not worship idols of stone, but we sometimes rely too heavily on other things: money, status, success, human approval. These things can be helpful, but they cannot replace God as the foundation of our lives. True security is not found in what we have, but in who we trust. One of the most beautiful promises in Hosea 14 is that God will heal their unfaithfulness and love them freely. This shows the depth of God's mercy. When we return to him sincerely, he does not respond with anger, but with restoration. The passage describes God's blessing like gentle rain that makes plants grow and flowers bloom. In daily life, this reminds us that forgiveness leads to new beginnings. Healing takes time, but brings growth. God can restore what seems broken. Your past does not define your future when God is part of your journey. Hosea uses the image of a flourishing tree, strong roots, beautiful branches, and fruitful growth. This image describes the life of someone who walks closely with God. In daily life, spiritual growth is similar to a tree growing. Roots represent faith and trust. Branches represent relationships and actions. Fruit represents kindness, patience, and love. Growth does not happen overnight. It happens through consistent faith, prayer, and daily choices. Small acts of faith each day build a strong spiritual life. The chapter ends by saying that wise people understand these truths. Those who follow God's ways find life and stability. This reminds us that faith is not just about belief, it is about wisdom for everyday living. Think about the decisions we make each day, how we speak to others, how we handle conflict, how we respond to stress, how we treat those who need help. God's guidance helps us choose paths that bring peace and purpose. Here are simple ways to live the message of Hosea 14 in daily life. Return to God daily. Spend a few minutes in prayer and reflection. Let go of unhealthy habits or attitudes. Growth begins when we release what harms us. Trust God during uncertainty. Even when the path seems unclear, God sees the bigger picture. Be patient with your spiritual growth. Like a tree, faith grows slowly but steadily. Hosea 14:2-10 is a message of hope and renewal. It reminds us that God's love is stronger than our mistakes. When we turn back to him, he heals, restores, and helps us grow. Today, choose the path of renewal. Return to God with an open heart. Trust his mercy. Allow his grace to shape your life. Because when we walk with God, even the dry seasons of life can become places of new growth and beauty. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe